Hello, hello, hello. Hopefully I'm going to get some live viewers coming in very soon. Welcome to day 4 of the Retrain Your Mind challenge. And today I'm going to be talking about... Oh, hello, Edward. Hi. Today I'm going to be talking about your thoughts create your experiences. So how can you create better experiences more of the time? So as I said, just say hi and please invite followers and share this out, and hello if you're catching the replay. As I said, this is day 4 of the Mind Challenge, and in this challenge really what I'm trying to do is just give you some different perspectives, some different ways of thinking about your business and your life. For some of you, some of the things I say may be very new. For others, it may be reinforcing, but actually, I'll tell you in a minute why reinforcing, why I'm laughing at that, because I teach what I most need to learn, which is true for most of us. We teach best what we most need to learn, and certainly today has been one of those days. So before I go into that, just let a few people come on board. I'll just tell you a little bit about who I am in case if you've not been on one of my scopes before. So I'm still fairly new to this, but I'm thoroughly enjoying scoping. Even though I've not got lots of followers as yet, that will increase as I get better, but also as I engage with more people as well. So please do engage. Please do say hello when you come on. It's always nice to see a friendly face and to get a wave and to get a heart occasionally. So my name's Julie Johnson, and I work predominantly with business women, helping them to grow their customer base and to grow their income. And one of my main focuses is helping them, apart from having a frog in the throat, is helping them to really understand who they are as individuals, as people, so that they know how they may have been stopping themselves. And once you have that understanding and that clarity, then it's much easier to focus on the external things and to just get on with it. I'm having the same problem tonight as I had last night, excuse me. Okay, so yeah, that's me, Julie Johnson. And what I want to focus on today, as I say, is still not gone, has it? What I want to focus on is how your thoughts create your experiences. Now, you may have heard this through someone called Mike Dooley, who does Notes from the Universe, which are excellent, by the way. You can get daily kind of inspirational notes, which are really good. But today, as I started to say earlier, it's really ironic that I've chosen this topic for today, because quite frankly, I've had a shitty day. And when I was thinking about preparing for this broadcast, I just had to laugh. I mean, basically, that's kind of what I'm doing now. Because in that moment, I kind of grasped the reality of the situation again, and the truth in that statement that you do create your experiences, you create your own reality. Because let's face it, what was different between yesterday and today? So same business, same office, same equipment, same tools, doing some of the same things. So what was different? I was different. And the way I was different was I was feeling different. And I was feeling not so good because of lots of external circumstances that I let kind of get the better of me. And what I mean by that is that those external circumstances, those challenges and problems and issues that arose, made me feel very frustrated. I got a bit angry at some points, but I was basically telling myself throughout quite a lot of today that this is just never goes right. Nothing's going right. Is this ever going to work? Why do I bother? All of those kinds of things were kind of going on for me. So that was all negative thoughts, which was affecting how I was feeling. And that's, I mean, let's face it, that's human for a start. So I'm not saying that we can get rid of this altogether. But one of the things to do is to be able to recognise it. And I'm sure I've got some people on here who would say, yeah, I recognise that. Hopefully it's not most of us most of the time. If it is, then you really do need to do something about this. But it's us some of the time. And that's kind of my start point, is how do we have some fantastic days and how do we have some not great days? Because you alone create your experiences and your reality. So I'm not saying here that you are responsible for your external problems and challenges. What I am saying though is that how you react to circumstances, to challenges, problems, issues, people, that creates your reality. As I said, when you have a great day, in fact, very often when you have a great day, you can deal with problems and issues. So just consider that for a second, that actually you can be having a good day and have the same kind of problem and deal with it and still feel like you're having a good day. And then on other days, it just feels like a shitty day. Do you agree? Yes. Fab. So what we need to recognise here is that we as individuals always have a choice. And we need to recognise that choice, to become consciously aware of that choice. Because a lot of this we're just doing on an unconscious level. You know, we're not really, you know, we're kind of going through our shitty day and going through all this, but not really getting out of it because we're not recognising what we're doing to ourselves and the fact that we're perpetuating it and we are creating that over and over. So there's this really, now I don't know who said this, but it's a lovely little statement, which is between stimulus and response there's a space, and in that space lies your I've just had a mind blank. And in that space lies your freedom to choose. Now, I first read that in a Stephen Covey book. I don't think it came from him, and I can't remember which book it was. I don't know I don't think it was the 7 Habits. It might have been the 8th Habit, you know, finding your voice, or it might have been in one of the leadership ones. But it certainly, it did really strike a chord with me, because what was happening with me today was that I wasn't recognising that space. I wasn't consciously aware of the triggers, the external stimuli, and what that was then doing to me. So I was unconsciously choosing thoughts, feelings, and even saying some of this stuff out loud. I mean, I had a conversation with, I had technology problems, and I had a conversation with someone saying, why does this always happen to me? Or this, you might know, it's me again. And that was me just not recognising in those moments, not being mindful in those moments of what I was saying, of what I was feeling, and all that other thoughts that were going on. It's like a freight train, you know. Your negative thoughts can gather speed, and they just kind of rumble on, and rumble on. And you get into this negative cycle that just keeps going and going and going. So what I'm talking about is, how do we recognise and do something about that and create better experiences more of the time? So there are 3 steps to this process. It's a very simple process, not always easy to do, which I kind of realised yet again today. So step 1, and what I want to do is get you to think about your particular situation. So let's focus on what triggers you. So just think about when you're feeling bad, when you're feeling frustrated, when you're feeling, you're just having one of those days, what kinds of things are triggering that? Anyone want to share anything? That's okay. So for me, obviously, the things that were triggering was something going wrong. something going wrong while I was in the middle of something, which meant I lost a whole load of work. That was the first thing this morning. So that's just bring to mind the times when you have been triggered and what was happening just before that point. So get really specific about what was happening for you. If it's in business, I mean, let's face it, it could be things like, I don't know, someone questioning your price, customer not turning up when they said they'd turn up. Big one of mine, I'm into bugbears today, big one of mine is somebody having their mobile phone on while you're in a meeting with them, while you're talking to them. And not only that, but they actually answer a call while you're there. So those kinds of things trigger me. Do they trigger you? Yes. Okay, so the first step is recognize the trigger, recognize the stimuli, if you like, what's triggering you, what's kind of exactly what's happening, be really specific about what's happening at that point so that you've got a better chance of recognizing it when it happens again. So once you've got an idea of some of your triggers, or at least one, I want you to, step 2 is to have a backup plan, to have a cunning plan, as they say in Blackadder, Baldric in Blackadder. So when it happens, when you have that trigger, or that stimuli, remember you've got this space, but we're not really conscious of it most of the time. So when it happens, you need to kind of have thought through, already pre-thought and pre-planned, if you like, what you can do about that. So what kinds of things could you do to help yourself in those situations? For me, lots of things, absolutely lots of things. So sometimes I have to, well, it's to a large extent for me, it's about changing my physiology. And that's really useful. That's a really useful tip for anybody, is to change your physiology. Because if you stay sitting at your desk and that's where you're frustrated and you're not feeling good and you're saying all this stuff and your thought train's going off on the track down the road there, then nothing's going to change. So just moving, getting up and moving actually makes it so I'm running up and down the stairs sometimes. That's one of mine. But I do have a home-based office, so that's kind of easy for me to do. Fresh air is a good one, is a really good one. Just get outside into the fresh air. Deep breathing. I've said this one before. It's very, very simple and it can work wonders. A biggie for me is music and dance. That always makes me feel better. It always lifts my mood. And if you've heard any of my previous scopes, then you'll know that what I'm talking about here is thoughts affect how you feel, that impacts on the words you say and the thoughts you have, and all of those impact on what you do and therefore the results you get. So if you can get yourself feeling better, then that will help you respond appropriately and not respond unconsciously, and kind of keep those things going, keep those negative thoughts and feelings going. So you've got to have some kind of cut in the system, if you like. A block on the track. That might be a better one, seeing as I'm mixing all my metaphors now. So second step is have that backup plan. So what kinds of things could you do? So I've given you an idea of some of the things that I do. You know, actually having a list of some of those things up by the computer or in your office somewhere, so that as soon as you recognise, and even possibly when you're not, but you just look at it, you kind of recognise at that point, oh, okay, it might be a good idea to do this. Because you and I know that taking a few minutes to get your head clear, to get yourself feeling better, is much better than trying to plough through things, because how you are, how you're being, will have a huge impact on the results. So what is that for you? That's number 2. And then of course number 3 follows on very logically, which is do it. Put it into practice. Take the action. So that's about getting practical. So there's 3 things I want you to really focus on in this challenge. What are your triggers? So pick one big one if you've got lots and you kind of, oh, that's too many to think about. One thing that triggers you, that's your stimuli. have a cunning plan for what you can do when you recognize that, when you become consciously aware of that trigger in future. And then 3, once you do become consciously aware, actually put that into practice. And I can guarantee you will feel better and you will create a better experience for yourself, even if you're having a shitty day. Okay, so I would love to hear what your triggers are and what you plan to do about them. So please share with me. You can tweet, you can message me on Facebook, my Julie Johnson Biz page is where I'm putting up all of these scopes. You can email me, so just go to my website, which is the-successclubacademy.com. I'd love to hear from you, and please do, if you've had value from this, please do invite people to listen and share this out. Okay, I shall see you tomorrow evening now it's 4 o'clock tomorrow, so it's a couple of hours earlier. And tomorrow I have to remind myself, tomorrow is about, well, it's called Holding On Only Harms You. And that's about blame, that's about forgiveness and release. So how do you forgive and release some of these things so it's not holding you back? So I'm off to do some Irish dancing to get jiggy and to really end my day on a high. And I hope you do the same. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye. It's really interesting. I seem to have this problem when I'm on landscape to stop. Bye.